Hey everyone! Ever feel like you need a partner in crime for your coding marathons? Someone to bounce ideas off of.
Someone to help you catch those pesky errors before they turn into late-night debugging sessions.
Well, get this, AI is stepping up to the plate.
Big time.
We're talking AI coding tools that act like your very own coding companion.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about it.
Absolutely. And today, we're diving deep into two of the biggest names in the game.
ChatGPT, Canvas, and Claude artifacts, they're all the rage right now.
Right. They're generating a ton of buzz. And for good reason.
And in this deep dive, we're going to unpack it all. How they work, the good, the bad, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. By the end, you'll know if either of these tools is right for you and your coding style.
Because it's not about crowning a champion, right? Right. It's about giving you the knowledge to choose the best tool for the job.
Absolutely.
So, should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right, first up is ChatGPT Canvas. This one really caught my eye because it's all about collaboration, like working side by side with an AI coding buddy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Imagine this. You're coding away, and Canvas is right there with you, making suggestions, editing your code in real time, even adding comments.
It's like having an AI pair programmer looking over your shoulder offering insights.
It's pretty incredible. And speaking of insights, one thing that impressed me is how Canvas is laser focused on making your code cleaner and more efficient.
Absolutely. The article we read highlighted how good it is at catching those little errors that can really trip you up.
Oh, tell me about it. Those little things that can cause major headaches later on. No thanks. I'll take all the help I can get.
Right. And what makes Canvas even more impressive is that it's not just about catching errors, it's about actually understanding your code and offering intelligent solutions.
Okay, so it's not just about fixing problems, it's about understanding the why behind the code and making it better.
You got it. It's like having an AI that can not only read your code, but also think about it the way you do.
It's like having a conversation with your code.
Exactly. And that's something that really sets Canvas apart.
It sounds like a total game changer. So if Canvas is all about that tight collaboration and precision within the code itself, what about Claude artifacts? What's its superpower?
Well, if Canvas is like having a meticulous code editor by your side, Artifacts is more like having a visual maestro at your fingertips.
Ooh, I like that. Tell me more.
Its claim to fame is this really cool live preview feature. So as you're coding, you see your web page or app interface updating in real time.
Hold on, so no more switching back and forth between your editor and the browser to see how your changes look?
Nope, it's all right there in front of you.
Yeah.
You make a change in the code, and bam, it's instantly reflected in the preview.
That's amazing. I can see how that would be a game changer, especially for web developers who are all about crafting those beautiful, user-friendly interfaces.
Oh, absolutely. Especially for those who are really into front-end development and creating that seamless user experience.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
That's so cool. But I'm also kind of wondering, could that much instant feedback ever be a distraction? You know, like, does it make you less likely to think things through before you code them?
That's a really interesting point. I mean, it's definitely a different way of working,
right?
Some people might find it overwhelming, especially if they're used to planning things out carefully in advance.
Yeah.
But, you know, for others, that kind of real-time experimentation, it's like super freeing, you know?
I can see that. It's all about finding what works best for you.
Exactly. And what works best for the project you're working on, right?
Totally. Okay, so we've talked about writing and editing code, but what about when things go wrong? Because they always do, right? How do these tools stack up when it comes to debugging?
Oh, that's a great question.
The article mentioned that both can help, but in different ways.
Yeah, for sure. So picture this. You're staring at this chunk of code and you're just totally stumped. You can't figure out what's going wrong.
Oh, it's the worst.
Right. So with Canvas, it's like having this superpower debugger, like right there next to you.
Like an AI Sherlock Holmes for your code.
Exactly. You can actually, point Canvas to a specific section of code. You can tell it what the problem is, and a lot of times it can actually pinpoint the issue. It can even suggest a fix.
Get out of here, no way. So it's not just finding errors, it's like it understands what you're trying to do and then helps you get there.
Right, exactly. It's like it gets the bigger picture, not just the line of code that's throwing the error.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, so what about artifacts? How does it handle those debugging moments?
Artifacts. It's a little bit different. It takes more of a holistic approach, you could say.
Holistic, okay.
So instead of just zeroing in on a single line of code, It tries to give you a deeper understanding of how everything fits together.
Interesting.
It's kind of like it's shedding light on the underlying logic of your code, you know?
So you can spot inconsistencies or potential issues more easily.
Yeah, exactly. It helps you become a better debugger yourself.
So it's less about giving you the answer and more about helping you find it yourself.
Right. Canvas is like that skilled surgeon making those precise incisions.
And Artifacts is more like the wise old mentor, guiding you to the solution.
Exactly. You got it.
I'm starting to see a pattern here that they both have their strengths, right?
Oh, absolutely. Neither one is inherently better than the other.
It's about choosing the right tool for the task at hand, the right approach for your coding style.
Totally. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll even see these two approaches like merge together.
Ooh, that would be interesting. All right, so we've dug into the nitty-gritty of Canvas and Artifacts, but I'm curious to get your take on the bigger picture.
The bigger picture, yeah.
How do you think these tools are going to change the landscape of coding in the long run? It feels like we're on the verge of something big here, you know? Like AI is about to really shake things up in the coding world.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. What I find fascinating is how these tools are like blurring the lines, between the coder and the tool itself.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Blurring the lines, how?
It's like instead of replacing human coders, which is what some people worry about, right? It's more like they're giving us these like superpowers,
Yeah.
augmenting our abilities,
Superpowers. I like the sound of that. So instead of getting bogged down in the weeds, like chasing down a missing semicolon,
which we've all been there, am I right?
countless hours of my life gone. But now with these AI tools, it's like we can finally focus on the bigger picture, the more creative side of coding.
Exactly. And for people who are just starting to learn how to code, these tools are like having a personal tutor,
Oh, totally. Imagine getting instant feedback on your code, suggestions for how to improve it. It's like having a coding coach right there with you.
Exactly. And that can make learning to code so much more accessible, lower the barrier to entry.
Absolutely. But it also makes you think what skills are going to be most important for coders going forward. If AI can handle the more like routine stuff, what's going to set human coders apart?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is like the ability to really understand these AI tools.
So it's not just about writing the code anymore. It's about understanding how these AI tools work.
It's like, any powerful technology, right? The more you understand it, the better you can leverage it.
So it's about learning how to communicate with these AI tools almost, giving them the right instructions, the right feedback to get the results you want.
Exactly. It's like learning a new language, the language of AI.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be huge,
And new kind of literacy. So as AI gets more advanced and takes on more tasks, human coders, we're going to need to become even more adaptable, creative.
Yeah, we've got to be able to think outside the box. Because at the end of the day, coding is about solving problems. It's about coming up with creative solutions.
And that's where human ingenuity still reigns supreme, right?
100%.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive, that's for sure. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what's possible with AI and coding.
And the thing is, it's changing so fast. Who knows what's next?
Yeah. Exactly. But one thing's for sure, it's an exciting time to be a coder. So for everyone listening, we want to leave you with this. How are you going to shape the future of coding?
Well, what will you create with these powerful new tools?
That's something to think about. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Until next time, happy coding, everyone.